I'm honest. Thank you so much. With me now to discuss is Joe Moglia. He's the former CEO and chairman of TD Ameritrade. Joe, thanks so much for joining us. So turning back to the conversation we were having with Caitlin.
Jake.
Thank you so much. Turning back to the conversation we were having with Caitlin Collins about this back and forth about China and the U.S. and whether or not the trade negotiations are happening. So China's denying it. President Trump is saying it's true. How does this back and forth affect the market at all?
I think if you look at what took place today, Jake, the markets were up. So it looks like the market, I think, is used to hearing China lie about things, and they're used to hearing the president exaggerate about things. So whatever took place today, the markets responded very, very positively. Now, from a longer-term perspective, if the tariffs are going to continue for a long period of time, the probability of a recession becomes very, very real.
I want to play something that Citadel CEO and Donald Trump mega donor Ken Griffin said yesterday. Keep in mind, this is a quote from somebody who is a huge supporter of President Trump. Roll the tape.
Yes.
Right. The United States was more than just a nation. It's a brand. It's a universal brand, whether it's our culture, our financial strength, our military strength. America rose beyond just being a country. It was like an aspiration for most of the world. And we're eroding that brand right now.
Bree, do you think President Trump is damaging the brand of the U.S. and the U.S. economy? And do you think that's signaling to the world that the U.S. is no longer a safe place to park investments, as we've seen with the bond market going down?
I think I have a lot of respect for Ken. I think there's certainly some validity into that. I think that my perspective on this is that the president is a narcissist, and he wants to look good, and he wants to win. And I think he brags about being a great deal maker. And he looks at the stock market as, going back to 2016, as a very real indication of what his success has been. So that type of personality, I think there's a pretty good chance that he's using the tariffs as a negotiating ploy to be able to bring people to the table. And if he gets anything out of that, he will be able to claim a series of wins. If indeed he's able to do that, I think he backs off, and I think we're okay. If he's not able to do that, there's going to be an issue. I don't know if our brand is suffering, although I do think a lot of other countries are annoyed at us because of the president and because of the tariffs.
So we've been talking to small business men and women all over the country since this tariff thing started, just to hear what they think. Some of them love Trump, some of them not so much. Some of them love the tariffs, some of them not so much. One thing that they all say is they're concerned about stability and the need for stability and predictability in the markets so that they can do long-range and long-term planning. Do you share those concerns?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we don't have that now, but kind of the point I was making a little while ago, I think there are a lot of reasons to be bullish, but it's long-term. You've got a great impact with regard to AI. You've got deregulation. You've got lower taxes. You've got an accommodative Fed. And you've got a business-oriented administration. But so therefore, if indeed my perspective on this is accurate and he's using these for negotiating ploys, then we could get this behind us over the span of the next 6, 12, 14, 16 weeks. If we do that, I think we're okay. If we don't do that, we're going to have a far more significant issue. But if we don't get it fixed, there's going to be a problem. So I believe we're going to get this fixed.
Yeah, I guess the only concern is, having listened to President Trump quite a bit, it's my job. He seems to really believe in tariffs, not just as a short-term negotiating tool, but as a long-term economic strategy. He looks at the McKinley era as successful, not because of the Industrial Revolution and not because of mass migration and no regulations, no minimum wage, no OSHA standards, et cetera. He looks at that era as successful because of the tariffs. If that is his view, and the tariffs are here to stay as long as he's president, what do you think then?
Then I think we're going to have a recession. I think if that's specifically his view, but the reason why I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, is that the guy's a narcissist and he wants to look good. And it wasn't an accident that a week ago, when everything, when the S&P was below 5,000, and we had the 10-year note, really, really significantly higher. You have Jamie Dimon complaining about what's going on. You have a couple of his friends come to the White House that were serious business leaders to kind of say, be careful here. He changed his mind. He changed his view on a lot of things, and we had a significant reaction the other way. I don't think he's going to allow himself for too long a period to look bad. And because of his personality, I think that there's a reason. There are good reasons for that to work out that way.
All right, Joe Moglia, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today, sir.
All right, Jake.
Appreciate it. President Trump revealed himself today that he plans to meet with